When is the documentary coming? That's what I want to know, Joe. When can we see and pull back the curtain?
Wow. Well, one of the things that I'm so proud of is we now have a testimonial booth at our week-long events because people have so many amazing, great stories. I mean, they're so good that now we have so much testimony that a lot of people are going to our website and just watching the stories of people tell their stories of how they healed of all these health conditions and the doctors told them they weren't going to make it, or they created wealth or whatever. I think that's so important because when you see that person on the stage and they're telling their story and it's not a Hollywood version of triumph. They lost everything. They got worse. Everybody gave up on them. They were in and out of the hospital. They tried this, they tried that, and all of a sudden they start telling their story, and you see how they started to make the changes, and they started feeling better, and their blood values started to improve a little bit, and their blood values got worse, and then they went back again, and then they come out the other side. And it's a 64-year-old woman, with Parkinson's disease that can't swallow, that can't blink her eyes, that can't chew, that can't stand up, can't blow her nose. And in one incident, she's telling the story of how she's standing up in front of the audience, how she can blow her nose, chew, swallow, blink, all that stuff. You're looking at her going, wow, she doesn't look much different than me, or doesn't look very special, or she looks like a normal person. You're going to identify. And I look out in the audience when people stand on the stage and tell their story, and there's a lot of tears because they're speaking truth. They're the example of truth. They're possibility right in front of them. And that shift that takes place in that moment in the event is dramatic.
And it's because they see someone else do it or they feel them do it, and that has a cascade effect on everyone else.
Look, I was in Cancun. We had our week-long event in Cancun. There's a colleague of mine who's a PhD, MD researcher out of UC San Diego. Brilliant man. Came very doubtful. By that third day, when people were standing on the stage, he sat down with me at breakfast and he said, it's time to do research. We're going to get funding from the NIH. We're going to work and we're going to demystify this process. I've seen it. I now know it. Let's do protein markers. Let's do brain scans. Let's build this model. Let's write the protocol. Now, why? Because we have a perfect Petri dish. We have 1,000 people in Cancun, all eating at the same time, all waking up at the same time. There's a pattern. There's a closed environment, right? So you study the environment. You study what's taking place. And filling in those markers, getting a little bit more evidence to tell the story, both scientifically, as I said at the beginning, as well as testimony. That evidence becomes the loudest voice because we're seeing, oh my God, there are epigenetic changes. Oh my God, there's immune regulation. Oh, there's protein markers that are having the changes in neurotransmitters. There's electromagnetic changes. There's more heart coherence. There's more brain coherence. Yeah, and look, there's a person with stage 4 cancer telling her story right in front of the audience that had serious cancer all throughout her body. There's nothing there now. Nothing. Or blind people seeing. I mean, you can't just throw that out any longer.